Hello everyone, welcome to Tutorials by Dacade. My name is Dacade, and today we are going to start working on the AI a little bit. First things first, I gotta make sure, for whatever reason, I have a whole bunch of different um, Unities open here, and I'm just gonna figure out why. It's all happening on my second screen, which is why you guys don't see any of that. Alright, that takes care of that. Perfect. Alright, anyway, so we're gonna start working on the UI a bit. And what we're going to do is mainly just a health bar. So once we get the UI going and started, we can start adding other things. Like eventually there's going to be a magic bar thing that shows how much money you have and all that other fun stuff. But yeah, we're just going to get started. So most of this work is going to be actually done in Unity. So in your hierarchy, you're going to right click, you're going to go to UI, and we are going to go to Canvas. We can just name it Canvas, that's no big deal. But one thing that we need to do is over in Canvas, we need to switch a couple things. So where it says render mode, we want to actually keep that at that, but down below, where is it? There it is, the UI scale. We want to change that to scale with screen size. The reference resolution is going to be standard high definition, so 1920 by 1080. And reference pixels per unit, we're going to change that to 16. Everything else should be the same, so we're good there. So now under canvas, we're going to double click it and it's going to zoom out, and you can see that this big old thing right here is your canvas, which is perfectly fine. That's perfectly normal. Under canvas, we're going to right click. We're going to go to UI again, and we're going to go to a slider. We're going to name this one health bar with one R, not two. My T and my R buttons are sticking on my keyboard, so I'm going to have to get that replaced sometime soon. Anyway, so there's our health bar. So what we're going to need to do with the health bar is first position it. For the X position, I have it at negative 745. For the Y position, I have it at 490. Z position doesn't matter. Width stays at 160, but height, I have it at 72. All right. The scale down here, I have this at 2.5 and 2.5. All right. So this little drop down arrow on your inspector where it says health bar, if you drop that down, you get three things: background, fill area, and handle slide area. Highlight the handle slide area and just hit delete to get rid of that. We're not going to need that. And go back to the health bar, and where it says interactable, uncheck that. We do not want to interact with it. Otherwise, the players will be able to slide and cheat and all that other stuff, and we don't want to do that. All right, now that that's all set, what we need to do is we need to find our artwork. So we're going to go to art, we're going to go to world, we're going to go to objects, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into the sprite editor, which for whatever reason opened up on the other screen for me. And these four health bars right here, well, health and magic bars, we're going to modify these a little bit. So we're going to click and drag that. We're going to, well, delete the other three segments. And then the first segment, we're going to click and drag. So this is all under one sprite. And we're going to do that for all of these. Now, the other thing we need to do is we need to slice them. So that's what these little green things are right here. So what a slice is, I'll just explain it to you here. I think it's 9 and 5. Yeah. So what a slice is, it slices up the image. So that way everything in the middle here will repeat if it needs to repeat, whereas the ends will not repeat. It might not make any sense right now, but it will shortly. But we need to do the same for all of these. So 9 and then 5. 9 and 5. And lastly, 9 and 5. Now, make sure you hit apply. I am using a health bar as opposed to like hearts. I didn't want to be exactly like The Legend of Zelda. You do have to be careful about getting sued and all that stuff. So, but you can do hearts. Hearts would be a little bit different than what I'm doing. But nonetheless, you can do those. So for the health bar, what we want to do is we want to click on it and we want to set our max health, our max value to 6. And we want to make sure whole numbers is checked because we're using ints for the health, integers. Then what we want to do is make sure that this says left to right, make sure minimum value is at 0. There's a couple other things we need to do in here, but we can't quite do them yet. Yeah, we can't quite do them yet. So we're going to go to background. So in background, what we're going to need to do is we need to expand our objects. And we need to find, for me it's object 8, but we need to find the background of the health bar. And we're just going to click and drag to where it says source image and drop it, and you'll see the source image change. We want to make sure that this is image type sliced. And everything else should be good. Yeah, everything else is good for the background. So that's all we need to do for background. Now for the fill area. So first things first, for the fill area, we need to actually do the drop down menu and go to the fill. And in the fill where it says source image, we need to actually change that to the actual fill, which for me is this object right here, object 111. So we're just going to drag that and drop it into the fill area. We want to go back to the health bar, and this little slider where it says value, we want to slide it all the way to the max. And you're going to see, let me zoom in here, that the health bar doesn't quite fill up the entire area, and then whenever you go down to 0, it doesn't quite disappear. So there are some things that we need to do in order to get that to do this. First things first, make sure that we are on sliced 1 and all these are checked. So all that stuff should be good. All right. What we do need to do is change some numbers. Now I've already played around with the numbers, so I'm just going to copy them in here. So we want that to be that number where it says left. And make sure this says stretch, by the way. So make sure that says that number, 2.069504. And then for the right, we want it to say negative 2.069504. Once you have that, we want to go to the fill area, and we need to make some changes to the fill area. So again, I'm just copying and pasting these numbers in here, but where it says left, we want it to say negative 2.068203. And where it says right, we want it to say 2.000003. And now that we've done that, you see that the fill fills in perfectly. And if we go to the health bar and we slide that down to 0, you'll notice it disappears. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And once we've done that, we are actually set to start coding, which we're not going to do in this video. Like I said a few videos ago, I'm going to try to keep these a little bit shorter, 15 minutes or less, and this is already close to 10 minutes as is. So this is how we're going to do the health bar. And if you guys want to jump ahead and set up a magic bar, which we haven't even done anything with magic yet, it's literally the exact same thing, only you're using this background here, which for me is 42, and this fill, which for me is 77. So you know what? I have a couple minutes. Why not? Let's just set it up real fast. So we'll just create a slider. We'll name this one Magic Bar. We will get rid of the slide area. Actually, you know what? We're just going to cheat. We're going to highlight the health bar. We are going to copy it, and we are going to paste it on their canvas and drag it on their canvas there. We're going to rename it Magic Bar. We are going to move its position down. Oh, what's a good number to move it down to? You know what? I like 440. Why not? There we go. And then all we need to do is go to background, change the source image background to this background, which obviously didn't change anything because we're still full. And then we just go to the fill and change the fill from that to this. And there we go. Now we have a health and magic bar. And if we go to the game, we can see them right up there. So these are set. We're not going to do anything with the magic bar probably for a while, but in the next video, we're going to go over to health bar and how to code all of that and make it adjust as we gain and lose health. So with that being said, if this video was helpful and useful to you, give it the big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I have videos like this coming out all the time. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one.